Short but interesting. I hope you enjoy it. Naga.
Always around, like it's trying to lead me somewhere. I feel so familiar with it, like I know this somehow. I'm not crazy. You just don't understand me, or yourself for that matter. And what do you think you know about who we are?
Nah, you're not crazy. We're something different, King. But it's still foggy. Let me walk with you.
Oh, so you want to build. You already know the vibes.
Well, what I've read so far is that our culture has been around for billions, maybe more. We carry a genetic link to the divine creators that established civilization.
Oh, snap. That's what's up. My grandma used to say I had an old soul. Wait, something's not right. I think it's happening again. I gotta get out of here.
As he runs down the stairs and into the streets, the spirit of the Black Nagas has awakened in him.
All right, we back.
Just like me. Choose from over 175 online.
We back. About to start this low.
Just like me. Choose from over 175.
Balance this shit out real quick. All right, you already know the vibes. Grand rising, live rising, everything rising. You know what I mean? And today I wanted to open the stream up just in case anybody wanted to have a conversation and build, because connection is better than just being told, even though I have an extensive amount of knowledge. Even though I have some knowledge, I think it's better to open up the floodgates so we can get like 6 people in here at one time. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all want, the link is in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Peace Queen. You already know the vibes. Grand Rising. The link is in the chat, so you can always join in and you can be on this stream and we can converse. Today's topic is about spirituality, how that has manifested in you, and what it means for you, your understanding of the things that's taking place for your particular spirituality. And like I said, the link is there if you want to chime in, but for the most part, I'm just going to build on that in different regiments, because ultimately everybody's going through life in a certain way. Everybody's dealing with life every day in a certain way. And majority of the times, I know for the most part, people wake up, and when they wake up, they go directly to whatever circumstance is available, problem that's available, particular energy that's available, and you attack that. Whatever it is, there's not a spirituality essence in the motion when you wake up. It's not the first thing you think about. It's probably like the ninth or 10th thing, if that, and that's for high level spiritualists. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like they might think of it like after the few things they do. You wake up, you open your eyes, you put your feet on your floor, you grab something, you drink some water, you go to the bathroom, you pee, you brush your teeth, whatever you do, and then you jump into your life. Me personally, I've been struggling with that for a long time. I fight past that. So when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I do nothing. Open my eyes, I sit and I meditate. I may literally rise up and just sit. And I'll sit for like 7 minutes. And I'll sit, see if it feels good. And I'll keep sitting in that meditation and go to 21. And since it's early, I might even go to like 30, or like the first hour, I might just sit. And then I get in the water. I go turn on water and I get right and directly into the water. And I just let that shit beat on me, because that's my essence. So the first thing I do is I give myself to the divine when I wake up. It's the very first thing I do every day. And this practice and integrity for me personally allows me to strengthen my connection with the divine. It strengthens the tether that comes here, not the worldly connections that satisfy the flesh. It strengthens the one that come here. Peace, Queen. How you doing? You already? Grand Rising. It strengthens that value. And because that value is being strengthened for me personally, I can alleviate the other things that are being that comes from around the world. I can see that it's outside of this one connection. That one connection that comes directly to the Taurus field. I can see that. I can feel that soon as I'm in that integrity, in that process of making sure that I give myself to the divine. I sacrifice myself to the divine first in the morning. Secondly, I give myself to water because water is my element. That's just something I love. I love being in the water, especially warm water. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's like my one of my vices. Oh, give me a shower. Even if I get like clogged up or whatever, if I feel like too stuffy or whatever, or if it's like so I go jump in the water, knock it right off. I get in the water, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I'm like, oh, I feel good. I can breathe. You know what I'm saying? I get right out. It's like I need wind and water. I like that flow together. Like if it's not air circulation in the room, I get clogged up real fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like the water and the air for me on different aspects, but it's spiritual. So after I give myself to the water in the morning, the next thing I do is I partake in washing myself. That's that because you're in the water, you might as well do it. You know what I'm saying? And then I go with the rest of the day, the grooming and all that. After I come out of the bathroom, I don't eat no food. I don't eat no food. First thing I do is I put tea in my body, things that are good for the body as soon as you wake up on an empty stomach. I serve my body and I serve divine. These are the first 4 to 7 steps that I do every day when I wake up, no matter what circumstance I'm in. Even if I don't have a lot of what I'm trying to, like what I'm trying to do, if I don't have it, I do as much as I can of those things. That's just my personal connection to the spirituality. And questions come up in my head sometimes. They'll say, okay, will you still do it if you can't do certain things with this? And I've been through that. I've been through that for a long time, like years ago. You know what I'm saying? Even in the last couple years, I had to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, I've gotten used to it. And it's like, whatever. I already know what that is for me. You know what I mean? And this is why I said, what is spirituality for you? And what does that mean for you? And how does that manifest in you? That's why that's today's topic. Because people, they claim spirituality. You speak to spirituality, but spirituality is not a main third dairy thing for you. It's not even a fourth dairy thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so how is that implicable for a conversation in some aspect? That's like, I'm not going to go to a construction worker and tell him anything about his job, especially when he probably don't even get up and brush his teeth. He probably just get up, put his boots on, go straight to work. See how that works out? Some people are like that. They're dogmatic in their life, but ultimately there are particular ways that go with understanding and connecting things. So how am I going to do that if I'm not utilizing it correctly, first and foremost? So ultimately, this is like a let's discuss your value on what you feel passionate about. If you are truly passionate, the question itself is going to make you question if you even should say anything about it. You know what I'm saying? See, I used to be real hyper about it. Like I'd be like, yo, and I learned this. Da, 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 da. Niggas be like, yo, slow down. Like, no, listen, you gotta hear me. Respect. Ken the poet, you already know the vibes. So I used to be real eccentric with it. You know what I mean? I would get real crazy with it. And I want to like, hey, yo, tell me this. And yo, but you got to know, but I see what you're doing. Like, and it would be weird because I'm dealing with so many different attributes at one time. Like I'm dealing with the high level of empath. Like I'm picking up on 13, 15 people that's walking around on the street that day. Don't even know it. I know them, but don't know I'm vibing with them. Don't know I'm picking up their energy. Like I feeling the waves and it go through and you feel something and then it passes. And you're like, why did I feel this? You didn't even know why you felt that. but you're connected. You're feeling the universal aspect. You're feeling ancestral aspect. You're feeling direct aspects from your people. These are all vibes, right? You're feeling your future pull at you. You feeling your past hold you by the consequential aspect of what you think. This is belief. All these things are trying to pull you in different directions, literally ripping your body apart. And it's one that's trying to stabilize the divine connection. So when all these things is taking place, you're not even going to be mindful because they feel good in some aspect. If you've been watching my other builds, you heard me say there is addictions in life that we deal with that we don't look at as addictions. We don't say this is an addiction. No, life itself is an addiction. Being here is wrong itself. So if you're going to be here, you got to be here by divinity because everything that you are is a physical entrancement. This means whatever you do and you enjoy, negative or positive, which is both sides of one polarity, regardless of the fact, you're not supposed to get mixed up in either one, or you can't be too happy and you can't be too mad. You got to find that balance, and it takes strength to bench press, like to push off it when it's too good. It takes strength to stay down when it's so heavy. It's a different understanding. It's like you actually working the mechanics of the universe. You're fine tuning them. So then, how do you have any reference to anything that could come outside of you and damage a fortuitive thought? There's nothing outside that can damage it. There's nothing outside for you. Everything you get is straight from the divine. So anything that comes outside with no anything that comes outside of you with no contract is a gift, negative or positive. If it's negative that comes as a gift, you know why? Because I get to learn the depths of how far negative will go to be it. One thing I have never learned is the depths of how far positive will go to be it. It's like it eludes itself. So therefore, the contrastal value works in its own essence. I am the opposite of everything that don't serve me. It's contrast. So it doesn't bewilder me in that aspect of why everything does opposite to me. I am the opposite of everything that's around me. So this is understanding that energy. Subsequently, you will understand how to peel these values of emotional connection. I deal with it myself. Certain emotional connections to situations that don't got no reason to be in my life, period. But divine puts you through these things for what reason? To strengthen and fine tune how you use and understand these different bases. Like I said before, this is about the spirituality for you and how it's awakening you and what it means for you. There's a link in the description if you want to jump on the panel, you know what I mean, and discuss your point of view. Regardless of the fact, we're going to choose to add weight to outside situations because it's more apt to say that is important than to focus on yourself. That's that heavyweight. Because then you really got to look at certain things where you use that false energy and connect to, and you got to burn that. You got to say, you know what? Nah, I did that. An example, I remember this guy, I was dealing with down in Georgia. He reached out to me and he stopped dealing with me because I actually told him about some of my issues I was going through. And he looked at me in a sense of poverty, like, yeah, he ain't got it. I ain't going to deal with him. And, so he kind of fell back, but he had jobs for me though. He had like different contracts and jobs that when I was like, no, I'm going through stuff. I can do the work. It's just right now, you know what I'm saying? Financially, I'm not in that situation to make whatever great move or great big moves or whatever. So dude was like, I stopped talking to you. He was like, I left you alone because he's like, I felt some type of way about you. He's like, I didn't want to deal with that. He's like, I pull away from people who da 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 da. And I'm like, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I ain't mad at that. At least you being honest with me. It takes a real man to at least tell somebody where they faltered on them as a person. So ultimately, he went in to apologize because he said, I shouldn't have judged you by your life expectancy. Everybody goes through things. It's not the capability. Your capabilities is God status. You do stuff. And that's what I needed to respect. Moreover than the fact of me judging you from the story that you tell, you being vulnerable and you being real with me. I was wrong for that. You see what I'm saying? And he was able to come to me and do that. So then I was able to give him that energy back in reciprocation. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was, even though we still never got nowhere, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, that connection of him checking his character to how he dealt with somebody is the problem within our society anyway. So spirituality works on so many different levels, you know what I'm saying? And it's so powerful. And to see that manifest in a person I don't even know, I ain't never seen. We just had a conversation. We was doing conversations over the phone about artistic value, like because I do graphic designs and all that. You know what I'm saying? I do portraits. I do all types of art. So it's like the type of art I was doing. I was working with storyboards, and we was like, he does movies and all that. And he was telling me the level of work I do is considered to be what Hollywood pay these people a lot of money for. He's like, you do it effortlessly. I was like, because it's art, it's easy for me. So we was having this go back and forth thing for a while. You know what I'm saying? So I thought, you know what, I might be in a position to create some things. And I created a few storyboards and it was mind blown, but we never went nowhere with it. We never took it to that next, you know what I'm saying, situation. And that's cool. But ultimately, he showed the spirituality. You know what I'm saying? He showed that he had a better character as a person, and that was the most important thing to me. His character as a person. You know what I'm saying? Despite the work that never came into fruition, he was a man enough to check his spirituality, and that was powerful. That was powerful. It was a lesson for me. You know what I mean? Oh, somebody in the house. Who in the house? Peace, Queen. Did she come up? Hey, let me see. It ain't work. Uh, come on. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with this stream right here, yo. I just seen the option to have somebody else come on, and it won't let you come on for some reason. I don't know why. Let me see. Do it like this. I'm sorry, y'all. It ain't letting it happen. Somebody shooting me like no, don't let it happen. I don't know why this. I don't know why it's not working, yo. This is retarded. I don't even know how to fix it. To keep it 100. I'm sorry, Rima. I apologize. I'll get it better. Damn it. I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. Not your fault. I apologize. I don't know how to deal with this stuff right here. This is like retarded. It do what it want, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That is the link though. So but I don't know. Maybe it's because of the service or whatever. I mean, I'm in service, I'm full service, but the stream, it takes like a particular amount of service or whatever because it's doing so much. So I don't know. Maybe it don't want to work because of that. But whatever, we gonna figure it out. And it's it's another stream that I use. I got the duck joint, so I'm gonna see how that works later when I do another live stream. I'll come back like another time after we finish this one, and I'll see how, or I'll just play with that today later on to see how that works. But I don't really like it too much because when I use it, it skips a lot and it shows me that the connection is not there. You know what I mean? It shows me it doesn't have a strong connection. So I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, we're gonna work it out. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it together. Just rock with me, vibe with me, stay with me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all my family. You already know the vibes. All right, well, anyway, you can still comment and you can talk amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? The chat is live. I can see the chat right here on the screen, you know what I'm saying? So I can respond ASAP. It's right in front of me. You know what I mean? If you want to say anything. Um, so yeah, for the most part, spirituality works in these different aspects, and it's spirituality. The names has been usurped and taken out of their context from their universal principle. It's spirituality, and you have to know that first. It's the spiral, because the force or the main particular energy that guides everything in the universe is a spiral. It spins. That's how that's why everything spins, why we have rotations, that's why you have drains, why clouds roll, like it's why waves, everything comes off a spiral. So they changed the word into spirituality, to spear, like you're being stuck. That's because other people in that aspect of non knowing spirituality will be stuck if you don't connect to the value of what the universe has to offer. That's like submitting. You know what I'm saying? That's like understanding your it's like, what's the word for it? I'm sorry. Yeah, when you submit anyway, it's still it's another word I'm looking for that means a little more better to that value, but it's like when you submit to the divine, you know what I'm saying? You sacrifice too, but like the more you are in that value, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you're giving up this connection to this worldly way of looking at things, you know what I'm saying? It's not saying you about to get all straight and narrow, because straight lines don't exist in the universe. Everything is chaotic, you know what I'm saying? So it's you being more yourself, but happy with that without using vices to be yourself. What does that mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why do you need to be connected to the world to be you? You know what I'm saying? Even if that has to pull you in different directions away from circumstances, just to find that place to where you can just be the best version of yourself. Prospect. You already know the vibes, Ken. That's what I'm talking about. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because everything's that's a spiral up. And you know what's even dope about that? So if I got like, if you ever been, if and this is how the universe is so simplistic, right? This is how the divine energy is so simplistic. If you ever stood by a river, right, like a small stream, a creek, and you watch the flow, you know what I'm saying? There you go. Thank you, Kareem, surrender. And you watch the flow, you know what I'm saying, of the creek, right, and how it's just going. Look on the side of the river. You'll start seeing like these whirlpools spinning a nine, like on the side, like they just because the main force of it is going. So the incremental water, the smaller waters that's not really connected because other blockages are right there, they start spinning in the whirlpool or other dips in that motion. It makes it spin. So that's like almost leaving a stairwell of that flow to where the main flow is right there. So if things are getting broke, now just think about it. We looking at the universe, knowing that the non-ether, we know that the flow of everything just goes through. It goes through, it goes through creation and keeps creating through creation. So this universe through another universe, and they want to call these whatever. So as you're going through, you're leaving residue energy because you're going through existence. What is existence? Existence is the actual melanin, the harnessed energy that gives us life, that gives us the glue, that the contract, the reason why your elbows and your fingertips and everything forms together. It's the contract of the universe, is what holds us together. We needed that spark of divine light that gave us life. So that constant flow, it left residue. And see, I was breaking this down in a lot of them incremental sciences. I was telling people that the resonant energy is what created life on higher values. We want to speak to deifying understanding. That's cool. I'm not mad at that. But what I know more over than deifying creations is the waves. The waves get bigger farther back. And the bigger they are farther back, the more divine energy you have in that subsequent value. What would it create at a larger wave? If I'm out in the ocean and it's a giant wave coming, that's gonna make a lot of mess. I'm still my size. But three sizes levels of me, 10 foot, 20 foot, 15, we gonna be all the same, but with different pressure. So this is what I'm trying to understand. Why are we giving energy to a creation when in fact the energy, why are we giving placement to the energy when in fact the placement we should be giving is to the flow? If I drop the penny in the water, it ain't the waves that the water make that's important. It's the penny that hit the water. Moreover than the penny that hit the water, it's the person that dropped it. You see what I'm saying? Like it starts to defeat the purpose. Because ain't no force when I drop the penny. I didn't throw it down, I just dropped it. Grand Rising. Oh, Oh, okay, my fault. My fault. Um, so it's the drop. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no force behind that. It's the stream. If you was watching the little like the streams I did the last couple of days, and I was showing like video clips and all that, you'll see a video clip in there where I take my hand and I hold it probably like a half an inch away from a flame, and I turn it down like this. I just turn my hand down and I put the fire out. And I say in the clip, I say, force, whether there is a lot of motion or no motion, is the same thing. It's like saying good and bad on two sides of the coin. It's the same thing. You serve the energy that you need to replace within self. And that don't let that go over your head. Sometimes you gotta be rough. And sometimes you gotta be lighter. That's just understanding the value. But yeah, I'm able to hold my hand like this over a flame and boom, and put it out without fanning or nothing like that. It came from focus over a period of time. And it's just force. So I can kind of gain the force in my hand. I can kind of gain like a pressure in my hand after meditating. And if I stand like around stuff, I can move it like this without putting, like it could be like 5, 6 inches away from me. I can push my force out of my palm and like boom. And it's not a lot right now. It's only a little bit. It's like I can shoot it. Like I could, because I've been working with it. The more. Like, and I'll take like an incense, right? And I burn it, and I let like the stream of smoke go up, and just like try to sit it still, and then stay. Like I'll get close to it, and then I'll gauge how far I can stand away before whatever I'm shooting off my hand stops, so that I can see it, and I'll be like poof, poof, and I can shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Fire is different. It's like the fire kind of goes in my hand, like maybe it's a part of me or something. It's weird. So it's like I'll sit there and I'll play with it, and I'll open and close my hand, open and close my hand, and sometimes the fire look like it's trying to go in my hand. So sometimes if I'm walking around, I get charged up, and I can take a shirt off and I put my hands inside the shirt, and you'll see the electricity come off my hands, and I'll light the shirt up blue. I've shot in like electrical, like long electric come out of my hand. That comes from meditation. Like if I'm sitting in a meditative state, and it's crazy. I've been ADHD my whole life, yo. So I ain't never take no pills for it like other kids did. I guess in that time we wasn't, but I've always been hyper. So if I didn't smoke, you know what I'm saying, I'd be through the roof like 100 miles an hour. So it's like trying to gauge that energy and understand it. I started focusing on what that energy was, where that energy was coming from. Why would I speed up so much? Why would my flow and everything, my synapses just started going so fast? Why was I able to see such stuff so fast and calculate so fast? But it started showing me that my body couldn't keep up with the motion and the energy, right? So I'm like, yo, what is this spin? What is happening? It's electricity. It's electricity. It's like I'm moving around and I'm conducting more electricity than normal. Smaller body parts, but I conduct a lot of electricity, and it's weird because where is it going? I got a big head. I got a large cap. Think about a battery that like the little caps on top of them, and then you got the flat part on the bottom. Oh, respect. Nah, you good. So and it be that energy particularly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes it gets so crazy, and you got to dampen it out. Even if I start drinking water, I'll be drinking water, and if my energy high, I'll still dry out. Like I'll start drying out, and I could drink a lot of water, I'll go through like 2 gallons, and it'll start to coast at that point. But it'd be so much electricity. You know what I'm saying? So much electricity, like yo, and it could be just from walking, or if I sit still in the sun, it starts coming like that. So then I start playing with it. And I used to take Tai Chi back in the day. I took medical quiz young with a friend of mine up north. So we would do like different meditations, and I know how to pull the energy in from motions. So then you can hold it, and you can like toss it back and forth, and you'll feel it because it feels like it'll be warm, and then when you throw it over, you'll feel something warm leave this hand, and you can catch it because it'll be cold before it lands here. It'll be like a cold spot, and it'll be warm. So it's like it's light, and you can feel if you don't really get it in your hand, it's almost like throwing a foosball. You know what I'm saying? You can feel where it lands in different parts of your hand, and it's just warm and cold energy. You can feel when the warmth leaves and the cold comes in because the warmth is not there. and you can toss it back over and you can feel it. And you focus on this energy. The more you focus on this energy, the more it grows. And it strengthens in the sun without you putting any impurities in your body. If you can take the sun and you can balance out, now understand that most people who can't deal with the sun, that means you have to that because it's two levels of melanin that are produced. I can't remember the actual name of it. It's like an A1, an A2, or something like that. Like some people can't really deal with the melanin because your beard or your face hair produces a certain melanin and your head hair produces a certain melanin. Your skin produces a different type of melanin. So understanding these values, there are plants, all right, that produce melanin. Mushrooms absorb vitamin D from the sun like the human body. Mushrooms, just like a person. Curry leaves, they produce melanin at a high level. Fresh curry leaves produce it's really good. Make tea out of it. Mix it with other things like ginger and stuff like that. Like get it in your body. Find these things that produce melanin and eat them a lot. What it's going to do is going to start going into your body and it's going to allow your body to start balancing out the non-melanin use that you have because of whatever DNA impurities. To help yourself in that aspect, you can also dive into the faction of understanding how black seed oil and the omega-3 fish oils work in unison to unwind your DNA. They untwist your DNA over the usages. They'll start doing it, but you have to purify your body. You got to drink this water. You got to do different stuff of this nature. But if you do this, what happens is, there we go. Peace, Queen. You can hear me? Oh, it was moving, then it stopped. What happened? Yo. Oh man. Are you serious? No motion? All right, we'll try it again, I guess. Almost. Terrible. So, um, it's like I see what's happening. It's like when you come on, all the bars are there. Like it's all there, and then they drop out. And after they drop out, you get no motion. Like that's the only problem. Like yeah, the service for some reason it ain't strong, but it's strong on this side. But it drops out as soon as the connection come in because mine's is all green too. But yeah, so ultimately, this is I just lost my train of thought. Who remember the last thing I said? Help me, somebody. Who remember the last thing I said? Oh yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother Ken. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, plants produce melanin, my brother. Yes, they do. You got to know this. High levels of melanin too. Yes, they do. Yes, that is some science you got to get into, brother, because they are not and it's crazy because the earth serves people of melanin aspect. So and see, I'm a concentrated type person. Like I like concentrating everything together. Like, don't give me nothing watered down. Let me get it from the tree. Let me get it from the source. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me make it as dark as possible. Like I want it like that. I want it bitter, all that. You know what I'm saying? So understanding these principles, they're saying in this world, they're saying, hey, let me give you a placebo aspect of that. I was 6 and 7 years old, and I'm like, no, I don't want that. That's not what grandpa got. That's not what grandma got. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? That man got that. I don't know who that man is. That was me as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I don't want your shots. I don't want your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh wow, yeah, probably. You know that energy be doing that, Kareem. You already know the vibes. Um, so ultimately, I've never been one to want to follow no type of energy of that nature. Like I remember how my ancestors lived in a certain way, and they created a lot of things for themselves. And this, y'all, I'm gonna tell you something. And this right here is brain synapses at its at its finest, right? For years of my life, I remember my grandfather being outside with a pot, cooking something, boiling it with tree bark. And I used to think he was making I used to think he was making I used to say he making turpentine. Because I see trees and stuff like that in it, like tree bark in it and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, he making turpentine. He be like, I ain't making no turpentine. And I didn't even know why I said that as a kid. Like, I just remember seeing turpentine on the can and it smelled funny. Like, I'm like, Grandpa making turpentine. So I used to tell people, yeah, my grandpa's smart. He making turpentine. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, retarded, whatever, 11. Years go by my life. Years go by my life. And I never asked him what he was making, and nobody never told me what he was making. I'm gonna tell you how I found out what he was making. This is brain synapses at its finest, yo. So I didn't think about it like this. And I was like, I had to put the pieces together now to understand what he was doing. And I know my grandfather's the type of person because he used to get mad about this one particular thing. He'd be like, no, you ain't using up all my soap, right? And he used to have these funny looking bars of soap. His bars of soap used to be clear sometime and they'd be brown and they have like different colors in it or whatever. Some of them had like pieces of wood in it. And I never knew when I was a kid where he got the soap from. You know what I'm saying? He said no moonshine. Hold on. Yeah, he did all that too, but hold on, wait a minute. So I'm sitting there like, Grandpa got the good soap. You know what I'm saying? Like, Grandpa don't got the white people soap. Grandpa got the brown people soap. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, what are you talking about? Your soap special, Grandpa. I want your special soap. My special soap, huh? They used to say stuff like that. And I remember his face motions, him saying and responding to me when I would ask him questions that had nothing to do with what it was really I was seeing. So I'm getting older and I'm going through life and I'm reminiscing on my grandfather stopping by the um the chicken farm or the cow farm, and he would get like big pieces of fat and the bones and the leftover stuff that they're not getting. He would give the bones to the dog. And I never knew where the other pieces went, like the fat and stuff. I thought he saved it. I'd be like, yeah, he saved it for later to feed the dogs for later. You're not thinking about the storage aspect because you can't keep that, you know what I'm saying, dry. Like it'll go mold. I'm a kid though. Kid. Later, see, this is me. Brain synapses at its finest, yo. So I'm like, yo, later. This is probably like a month ago or something. It just washed across my head. Like my grandfather was like, yo, I know you know now, like, cause I find these particular soaps. I get these particular soaps from African shops and stuff, right? And this is one soap that I love right now. The way it cleaned my body, the color of it, and everything. I cut it into these little bars. So I'm laughing at myself. This one particular, like, yo, my grandmother had little soap bars like this. It was the same color. I'm in the shower one day. I'm washing up. I'm like, yo, I seen the fat. It flashed on the fat from the boom, the wood, boom. A video I seen months ago was like, this how you make natural lye without buying it from the stores. The smell, the turpentine smell, the lye smell. If you're a kid, you don't know no different, right? Right? So I'm like, hardwood. We got a lot of hardwoods. Grandpa be cutting the hardwood trees. You take hardwood ash to make lye. He was getting the free fat from the farm down the road. He had the clear bars of soap. Grandpa was making soap. And that's why he didn't want to give his soap to nobody. He was making it. Yes, my grandfather made wine. He used to make blackberry wine and scuffernine wine. And he actually made liquor too. And I got that out of the DNA. He never told me or showed me. I pulled that out of his DNA. I know how to do all that. And then some. You know what I'm saying? Like, my grandfather knew I knew. You know what I'm saying? I knew. You know what I'm saying? So, and he actually took me with him in certain places and didn't explain everything. I had to remember and pay attention. One of my grandfather's favorite words to me was, be quiet and pay attention. Even when I was 4. You know what I'm saying? Right. Respect. Oh, you talking to Kim, my fault. I thought she was saying much prosperity. Yes, it is much prosperity, though, at the end of the day. Like, he was leaving those jewels behind. You know what I'm saying? So, and that understanding, I had to pull some of the things that he did from that time and me being so young straight out of his DNA, particularly. Just pull it out of the DNA. And that's remembering something that you don't know. This is DNA information. This is how you access DNA information. How can I remember something I ain't even know? How can I remember something I ain't even know? I actually put it together as a thought and know that. And what was crazy was, it wasn't like the spirits ain't been trying to show me for the last 10 years, throwing it in my face like, yo, they was making soap. You know what I mean? Times I had a conversation with my man. He's like, yo, I know somebody who makes soap. I'm like, make soap? Why is make soap so important? Like the words be just floating around. Make soap, make soap, making soap, making soap. Be like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. And I had to connect the dots to understand from when I was 4 to now what it was really that I saw him doing. And a lot of things came into fruition like that after the fact. Like divine works this way. We are connected to our ancestors this way. You know what I'm saying? This is the same. This is the wisdom in between 2 points of existence. Like when I was explaining, right? Right, exactly. And see, the knowledge that they leave, they take that with you. They take that with them and they go to a next level. So this is where the dragon or the serpent, the real symbolization comes into fruition. It's like showing you that wiggle line in between 2 points of existence, 2 black holes, 2 points you can't get to. The gateless gate, the gate where you are now, and the gate where they are, or where they went to. That's knowledge that's between 2 existences. What energy holds that in tether? What energy keeps those connections alive or available? The divine force, the etheric river. It's connected to that. It's the reason every energy follows behind the same pretense. That's why I said it's the waves. They just get smaller, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing on each level. I'm not going to go battle with the next bigger waves. I'm not battling with no divine beings. Are you crazy? I'm flesh. That's a wave. They got their own smoke they got to deal with. That's a whole roll. Now, if you know how water rolls, then you know under that wave, it's like a force like this that's pushing that water. That's why the water turns over. That force. So each level of a wave has a whole dynamic force within it. You see what I'm saying? Within that situation, that particular situation, that's each wave of existence. So whatever existence we are, I'm not worrying about what's behind me, and I'm not going to do nothing to something that's lower than me. So why am I saying it like this? Because why would I cross-reference the value of iniquity from one point of existence to the next? No, the elders that was here was leaving knowledge for me to be here. They knew that because they were going to another place. And they knew while they were going over there, they had to put the knowledge here because they got to pick up something else where they're going. So it was love that they saw in us here that would allow us to contain the knowledge that they had to offer. Divine. This is why certain children are connected to the elders in different ways. And certain others falsify this connection. Because they see that connection, they get jealous and they wonder why they not, because you ain't had the love to hold that knowledge. And they knew that already because the life they already lived, they about to check out. I ain't got time to keep stopping by gas stations to find out which one got the best gas. I need to know you can hold this. I need to know you're going to be the image, you're going to rock this, you're going to have the look, at least enough for me to see that you can carry that energy. So when I give you this, I know when I'm going, you're going to talk it tough no matter what nobody going to say. Ain't nothing going to stop this. Divine. And what does that mean? It was allowed. Divine allowed that. Karmatic curses that are being broke right now, divine is allowing this. Because it's going to lighten the spiritual connection that we have for the worldly things. And it's going to strengthen the spiritual connection to the etheric flow, what I like to call the golden river, the golden road. That's your spiritual energy, that 3.5 grams that leave your body when you die. Connect it here, grow it here while it's in you now. Grow it around you so you can bring forth the new value of what they want to call a Merkaba because they couldn't see what it was before. Bring the spirit on the outside and put the flesh on the inside. Put your whole fleshly body inside the spirit. Just like you got soft inners right now, you should be the soft inner inside your spiritual body, and your spiritual body should be the giant running around here demolishing. If you know what Goku, you seen Dragon Ball Z, and you seen what my man, he got the etheric body and they be in his head. Yeah, like that symbol. And that's that aspect. Bring the spirit on the outside. Let them feel you coming. And this is why I'm telling y'all about the force. I can show you about the force. It starts to build that way. These are practices that's going to take time, but eventually, if everything leads to the same thing, if all this knowledge has the same point, no matter if I go 1,000 miles this way or 1,000 miles that way, everything comes back to the point of the force. The etheric force, the force around you, the energy people see when you move, how big it is or how small it is the reason why you can be controlled by the system, or the system wants you up out of here. Facts. Can't get to that energy. Everybody talking about the Congo stone, the rocking that was in Congo that you could put 2 copper coils on and it'll light a light bulb. Y'all act like y'all ain't just seen Avatar 2. Anyway, I ain't gonna even do all that. The only thing I'm saying is being aware, you see everything. Being connected to the etheric force of everything, you see everything. You don't have to comment on it. It's when it's beating on you, that's because it hasn't all spit inside and settled yet. You know how you be in the shallow water, you done kicked up the sand, and now you can't see clear because that sand got to settle. That's how the whirlwind works. That's how the spirituality works. It's still spinning in you right now. So until it's settled, you kind of like, it's a lot. It's to be like that, yo. And the more I sit back and I let it happen, because it's so much powerful knowledge that comes in through this whirlwind, you're going to want to respond to everything. Because you're going to be like, ain't no way in hell this is happening over here. Ain't no way I'm about to let this happen. Or I know you coming. I heard what you did. It's going to attack you like that. But divine is not going to keep. Speaking of the gas station, when I was young, we found out our car was on fire. Pulled into the first gas station that the manager went over. My mom never pulled into. Oh, wow. Wow. That's heavy right there. That's heavy. Like on fire and going to a gas station. You sure anybody was trying to take y'all out? Like, that's like, yo, let's send a bomb to a gas station. Boom, boom. That's like extra. And you made it through that. That is divine. Respect, Queen. For real, for real. But yeah, so understanding how this flow is and what it is all from its largest levels down to the smallest level, then you can get comfortable and say, well, I can actually work in my space. I can actually work in my space and become that level in full in my space. And once you reach that level in your space of understanding what the universe is doing on larger and smaller levels, then you know what you do. You gravitate to the larger level and you leave a residual energy of yourself here behind. Now, the love that you see someone that can hold this knowledge, you know what? They get the opportunity to step into that path. That's the pathway to the next. That's the pathway out. When they say, yo, it's the narrow path or the wide and spacious destruction. There you go. There you go, right there. There you go. That's the pathway. You created it in your DNA. And you kept going. It was just you, the narrow little light path. The narrow light path. The narrow light path. As we rise, the narrow little roads that everybody goes, or the wide destruction that everybody else follows because they don't follow their own path of light. It gets deep just like that. It gets deep just like that. Facts. Facts. Big facts, bro. Big facts. Big facts. But most of us, because we're dealing with the physical body, and see, this is why it gets so elusive in an aspect of people who are rising and you're watching it and you're like, oh, why they won't listen? It's not about a listen. It's choices. It's choices. If I smack the crap out of you and you seen it in my eyes when I did it, you're going to ask me why? That speaks to your character, not mine. If I smack the crap out of you in your face, boyow, you gonna say, yo, why you do that? You gonna say that? Nah, it was my intention. That's the difference. So if I'm sitting here talking to you about knowledge and you give me no understanding, because understanding don't cost nothing. It's just the ear and patience. Something that you won't allow you to understand or comprehend, that's your choice. So it's not why you ain't coming to the truth or why you ain't dealing with this. You don't want to because you know what it benefits you. See, confusion gets money. Oh, word. Right as I smack you. That's right, Gwen. You smack them back, right? But what I'm saying is that value within itself speaks to. She be cutting my energy. It's like, uh, 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 Creamy, you got a spiritual sword over there. Let me find out. She like, hold on, and cut it, and cut it. Like I just feel, and I know more over than. And see, this right here was the other side of understanding the same principle. So I don't have to say, well, why isn't certain things working? I have to question myself on why am I connecting to certain things. I have to question what's deep down inside of me. Understanding. She said three. You got three of them. I have to understand what's inside of me that's not allowing me to connect directly to certain values when ultimately these attractions or many addictions may come through the etheric aspect of my DNA. See, this is karmatic fixing. So you got jobs you doing and don't even know you doing it. Every day you working you. The reason why you're here is because everything that made it through time and existence is in you now. All your ancestors it's in you right here, right now. You made it here. So what does that mean? That means particularly you fixing the value of what they would have did in these circumstances today. How are you going to do that today? That's where the true power at right now. That's why you here right now. So it's easy to say, oh, nobody did. This is what I went through when I was a kid, and da, 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 da. You can say that. You can say that, but it has nothing to do with the aspect of your particular energy now, here. Most of us don't know the heinous things or the horrible things our family did or went through. But some of them, we feel them in vibes and we feel them in waves. That's where faith start coming in and you standing up being the strongest version of you. Do not falter on yourself. That's spirituality. There you go again. I know. I'm aware now. See, I can take this in all these different directions and they still come back to the same point of you being the best version of this DNA that's laid in you right now. How does that manifest for you right now? The best version of your DNA and that capability. How are you shining out the existence of your creation through all your family? Because that's the energy, the wisdom, that's the knowledge that came from where they are now, dead and gone, to where you are connected to you right now. That's that plug from, So now you got all these waves of information that's coming to you from different ancestors. What you gonna do with it? How you gonna act on that? How you gonna respond to these different things? How you gonna stand indifferent? How you gonna rise all your ancestors that are in your body, Khalil? All your ancestors in your body, Khalil. And when we send you off to this new universe, you can spawn a new creation. You can spawn a new force. You can create a new nation. We carry nations inside of us. Nations, bro. Queen, we carry nations. It's deep just like that. But not for nothing, we would rather sit here and pick apart all the misvalues of the particular reason just to be here in this system. We'll rather deal with the semantics instead of focusing on the mechanics of the actual creation of a being. They doing it. And they still can't scratch the surface. But you don't want to do that because you rather pick apart and say what you did and what they did and what they doing. They got to do something because they can't do you. They can't be you, so they got to do something. That's not my focus. My focus is making the best version of this manifest into what it's supposed to transformer. Optimus Prime. When I spit, we all spark. Get into that vibe. What are you unlocking in yourself? The Rubik's Cube. How you gonna face all your colors in the right? Come on, man. It's not hard. These knowledge has been laid out for a long time. The confusion was staying on this path. Yeah, no question. No question. That's because as above, so below. That's because each wave follows the same pretense. On each wave, there's just a larger version going back. That's the same force. That's like saying divine energy don't stop. But we all connected in the same aspect. So then, all right, if I'm sweeping the floor, I get some of the dirt. The little particles I can't see. I can only get what I can see. It's still coming off, though. It's still stuff that's all over the place. See, why does that speak to? I said this in one of my bills, a couple, like about a week ago. I was like, yo, everybody like to say Earth in the perfect spot. That's why I was able to grow life. What does that mean? Perfect spot. Just because you can't talk to nobody else like you, that makes this the perfect spot. I believe there's life in every single planet in this solar system. I just think the way it's there is not for you to see. Particularly, it's not going to be like, I believe we're so stupid. I believe we're like the dumbest set of creation right now because we believe with this type of eye, when the whole atmosphere starts to change at a certain distance, the altitude, the pressure, that you believe with this eye and this mind that you can comprehend anything else on another situation because light comes through things similar. No, the way it comes through is a spectrumless, a spectrum list. And that spectrum list, some lights we can't see. But to the incremental value of placement, that spectrum is bright on another planet. You might go to another planet and become invisible, unbeknownst to you, because you're using the mind that you use how you see on your Earth. So you think if I go to this other planet, the way I see this, they probably don't even see you because your spectrum light and your distance to where you are. I don't even like to get into the real universal because the stuff I know about the universe, people are gonna be like, yo, what are you talking about? You can't multiply the way we multiply science here and then get the true understanding of the universe. If you take like re-engineering stuff is beautiful. But if you look from the universe and you come this way with it, you can see how it manifests into light waves, wind, the water ripples, down to the sand, down to how bugs move around. You can see how all of that, you can see how it comes and it breaks its way down from the universe down to the earth. You can see the replication. What you can't see a replication of is anything that man makes goes left or right. You can't see that go deeper down or far into the universe. It stops right here. What man makes, it stops in this line and it disintegrates. It has no waves of existence. That's why you can't put nothing into it. But everybody's putting their everything into this level of creation that just breaks down. The waves wash over it. They show you that with seashells. You know how they fall apart in the sand, start turning to granules and everything, and then you walking on top of them. You think you're walking on sand, but you're walking on broken up shells? Did you know the water had pressure on it that we can grind it down like sandpaper? Universal pressure. You tell me if I can watch the water grind down a hard shell, it's so hard if I hit you with it, break your teeth. If I throw it at a kid, you're gonna get a knot on his head. You're gonna break a window with it. A shell. It's hard. The water can grind it down to a powder. That's pressure, but I can splash the water. The universe do the same thing. What energy is getting grinded down? What energies are getting grinded down? And how do you understand that? You have to learn to re-engineer what you look at every day. This is knowing. This is not belief. This is not me reading something that somebody told me and I believe that's to be true because I want to feel it to be true. No, this is me knowing who I am, me paying attention, and I'm watching. I'm not taking nothing, I'm not gaining nothing. I'm watching what you gave me. I'm looking at me. I'm looking at my surroundings. I'm slowly watching. Oh yeah, now they want to cut it. Network connection and all that. See, yeah, here we go. See how they gonna mess with us real quick, yo? We back. We back. They trying to stop it. They trying to stop it. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're gonna feel empathy. Empathy is just a word used to understand the fact. All right, so if we get in the water, we gonna say it's warm, and we gonna say it's cold. I'm not gonna get in this water and be like, yo, it's warm. You're gonna be like, no, it's too cold. I'm like, man, this water 80 degrees, nigga. You serious? We gonna feel it the same way. So empathy is that. It's being connected in the force is why we feel each other. We're naturally connected anyway. But to a systematic or situations that don't have that connection and they first feel, they start to feel like something's happening new. That's like somebody telling you you're getting old when in fact each year you were born is new. Or each year that come by is a new year. So that means you will particularly be getting better. It's not to be sounding cocky. That's just the truth. Each year is new. It's not a old. You don't. The older years, yeah, you passing, but you're walking into a new one. Your body replenishes itself if it got every piece of line and mineral that it will replenish itself and recreate itself as a new. Every 7 days, I was like every 3 days, certain things. Every 6 days, certain things. Every 7 days, every 15 days. These different cycles happen within your body and they replenish body parts. Because we put in sugars, acids, and other stuff of that, we can't replenish it. We can't replace it. So the universe replaces. It's a force energy. Divine energy it's like inside of a space that's not a space that you can ever be. So that's inside space. If I was taking space and I rip it open like that, you'll see pure divine energy. You won't see no being in there with a hat and a beard, but it'll be pure raw divine energy. And that space is already filled up. It's already pushed against the walls. It breaks through that existence to make another existence, and it keeps filling up the existences. This is why the universe goes through its own ebb and flow. It goes through a down period and then goes through a high up period, because the up period is the filling up of divine energy of a universe. After it fills up, it breaks through and it creates another womb and it goes into another universe. It makes a gateless gate. It's like a screw. If I screw something in, you can only see the grooves of where the screw first hit. The stuff that it digs out, you can't see. That's yin yang. That's dark and light. That's the shadow and the light part. You can see the part it touch and the part it can't touch. So to go through that, then the light creates an unknowing. It creates an X so it can have a Y. It creates an X so it can have a Y. Each universe does. It creates an X so it can have a Y, an unknown and a knowing. And it goes through. And after it fills up, that ebb and flow, that big ebb and flow happens again. It goes down into that space and then it comes back up and fills it all the way up again. And it breaks through a new womb. It keeps creating that value, not by purpose, by happenstance. By happenstance. And because this happens, the waves of this motion created everything else that we call whatever you want to call it. You want to put a title on it, you want to give it a spaceship, a house, a giant, some wings, you want to do all that. Have at it. But at the end of the day, all of that are manifestations or remnant energies or breakdown energies of the force of all things. The etheric flow. There's no man behind the ether river with a faucet like, I'm about to turn this river off. Ain't nobody doing that. You can't stop it. There's nothing to match that. Period. And we talking, y'all. I'm been on this thing for over an hour, man. I enjoy y'all being here with me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold y'all, you know what I'm saying? But it's been a powerful build. We need to strengthen this, share this, tell other people to come through. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get these streams fixed because I want to have y'all on the panel. Especially you, Ken, man. You got some knowledge with you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely want to hear more what you got going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like the light is definitely shining through you. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you coming through here. And you know I always appreciate the queens coming through. Karima, you already know the vibes. You just sword chopping through. We're going to get you on the panel too, queen. You already know. And where's she at? Where's Shell at? Shell left? She still in? Shell, you still in? You already know the vibe. Shell from the block. That's my moderator. You know, Shell got a pistol back there. She be like, pow pow. Don't act up in the chat, cause Shell gonna take you out. You heard? Shell got a sword. You already know the vibe. Shell gonna take you out in the chat, so don't be acting up. All right, so love, peace, and all that, man. Appreciate y'all for coming, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the knowledge, man. It's your boy. You already know the vibes. Naga. In fact, I got y'all. Hold on. Hit y'all up with some. Hit y'all leave with some knowledge, right? You about to play? Yeah, I'm gonna play it. You already know the vibes.
Supreme thought, supreme being, supreme light. I manifest the knowledge for wisdom to shine bright. How you think you see the moon unless in the sun bright? Women claim independence, you can never dim the light. Today's math is understanding, I'm about to get them right. The contrast to what's astral, take fight. The only thing you really missing is understanding the fight. Supreme, supreme. Starring each sage and weed, I'm about to take speed and enter me, mastering 55 degrees to deity, higher and fire and cold water into samadhi. You could never know my body. Bars. Naga.
Didn't think I was gonna do it again, but here it go. Returning them bars into the supreme flow. Respect, I only move for divineness. My center point of circle can follow the line in. I manifest supreme being, embodiment, connected to the stars. Light points be my history. Manifesting, bringing back everything that's meant for me. My infantry. You don't really know who on my spirit team. I keep it me. Move through the air like the smoking head. Pick it out, let it go. Black fist in the afro. I'm on a horse, Geronimo, shooting a bunch of arrows on top of every pyramid. Repping just like the pharaohs. I'm repping everything new, I stand in Heru. I'm repping everything new, I stand in Heru. I freed the ibis, so got the bird's eye view. Yo, I freed the ibis and got the bird's eye view. Respect. Naga.
Bars heavy, bench press, you'll get your size up. Yeah, they always wanna know really what's up inside us, we riders. Don't get it twisted, I'll break in sizes, you modest. I'ma stay king born, son, I promise. Try to cross that, you need to know where the line is. I was raised with gorillas, pit bulls, and piranhas. Solar ecliptic, see the reflection through the lumen, and I can see the gold from the sun come up through the turmeric. The star need bay leaf and time, I'm cooking food again, a hooligan. Knowledge born supreme cipher, the gods two of them. Divine balance in one motion, become two of them. Student and the teacher bring the knowledge to both you and them. Student and the teacher bring the knowledge to both you and them. Bars.
I was here, I was there, I was all over the map. From the back, it's a rap, they ain't catch me in a trap. Why you thinking you hard, boy? I'm ripping these bars up. Spit like a sawed off, I'm sicker than nausea. Running rap like a Rajan, you need to take caution. Taking my portion, repping divine one. Shine brighter than 12 suns, you hoping the hell come. Keep thinking how you thinking, I'm cooking the well done. You can claim they're your peoples, but watch them go tell something. Everybody swear they real, but everybody be frightened. I'm cool, I'm laid back, I'm rolling the blunt. But I don't care what they say, I just do what I want. I ain't talking to you, so just mind your business. Knowledge is born. And I birthed the wisdom supreme.
Question. Would you die for me?
Yes.
That's too easy. Would you live for me?
Yes.
Careful. Do not say this oath thoughtlessly. Desire becomes surrender, surrender becomes power.
This is a piece that I put together. Short, but interesting. I hope you enjoy it. Naga.
Always around. Like it's trying to lead me somewhere. I feel so familiar with it. Like I know this somehow. I'm not crazy. You just don't understand me. Or yourself for that matter. And what do you think you know about who we are?
Nah, you're not crazy. We're something different, King. But it's still foggy. Let me walk with you.
Oh, so you want to build. You already know the vibes.
Well, what I've read so far is that our culture has been around for billions, maybe more. We carry a genetic link to the divine creators that established civilization.
Oh snap, that's what's up. My grandma used to say I had an old soul. Wait, something's not right. I think it's happening again. I gotta get out of here.
As he runs down the stairs and into the streets, the spirit of the Black Nagas has awakened.